Hey everyone, do you feel overwhelmed when it comes to makeup? I know a lot of people do. Well, Charlotte Tilbury has bottled 30 years of artistry into easy to choose, easy to use beauty products, and you cannot go wrong. They are flattering for everyone, everywhere, and that's the reason why she is the queen of glow. Her rigorous standards ensure that every product is designed and formulated for performance like nothing else on the market. Take her iconic Hollywood Flawless Filter. With one product, you can blur, smooth, and illuminate the look of skin. Plus, it's skincare infused for clinically proven hydration for up to 24 hours. From red carpets to influencers' bathrooms, her legendary icons have gone viral for making everyone look and feel like the most beautiful, confident version of themselves. So, Charlotte Tilbury is performance you can trust. It's legendary for a reason. You can use code CTPodcast15, that's CTPodcast15, for 15% off on charlottetilbury.com. Plus, new account holders get free delivery. This ad is brought to you by Charlotte Tilbury USA, customers only, and valid until March 2nd, 2025. For full T&Cs and exclusions, see the Charlotte Tilbury website. She needs to do a podcast since she never got her due. She's a big lesbian and a loudmouth Jew. With a gasket always ready to blow, you're listening to Judy's show. Who? Judy's show. Wait a minute, who are you talking about? Oh, she's an asshole. What is wrong with you? Oh, you suck. So long. Fuck off. Hey everyone, welcome to It's Judy Show with Judy Gold. I'm your host, Judy Gold, and it's the beginning of a new era. Not so new, but whatever. We don't know what to expect. But this week and next week, I thought it was going to be a one-parter, but I couldn't stop talking to my friend Rabbi Iggy, who is so wise. He's a Talmudic scholar, rabbi, whatever. I just wanted to do the bell. And I just thought he is exactly what we needed this week and next to move forward. He's just amazing. And I know it doesn't matter if you're Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, whatever. He is wise. And yeah, I think you're going to really, really love this interview. So that's today and next week. Just FYI, I wanted everyone to know that I am going to be at the Shames JCC, which is in Tarrytown, New York, on February 1st. That is Saturday night. I think it's a 7 p.m. show. If you're around that Westchester area, please go. Please come. It's going to be a great show. Elon Altman is opening for me. And then I am going to be in the new play, which is very exciting. It's an off-Broadway show written by Joy Behar, not Jewish, but Behar, she married a Jew, and then whatever. My First Ex-Husband. I start on February 26th. I'm in that until March 23rd. And then I'm at the DC Comedy Loft in Washington, D.C., March 27th through the 29th. And then I'm in Aruba, March 30th to April 4th. And then it's past. Then I'm in Boca Raton, April 9 and 10. So I got a lot going on in the next month or so. So please come see me. But please, I don't even know what to say about today. I'm recording this in the last moments of Joe Biden's presidency, and I can't even watch the inauguration, although I am really thrilled. I just want to say those 3 hostages who returned home, who I'm sure they're not the same person they were on October 6th. of 2023, but they're home, and thank God. So let's thank God for the small things, you know. Well, that was a big thing, but we have to focus on what's good, and so thank God for that. And there's just so much going on. So I think today, and this week, this podcast is meant to be, something we all need. So, yeah. And just so you know, the fucking monsters surrounding them as they were transferred over to the IDF, that is what we're dealing with. That is I was going to say Mishigas, but it's more than Mishigas that we're dealing with. These are the quote unquote people that we're negotiating with, that Israel's negotiating with. I don't even, if you can't see that, then there's really something crazy going on. So, all right. I hope you enjoy. I really loved talking to Rabbi Iggy, and I think you're gonna love it, and it's something you need. And also DM me, write to me on Instagram at Judy Gold, JEWDY, or wherever you follow me, even on my website. Ask, and I will tell you about his Talmud class and give you the link and stuff in case you are interested, because it's really great. So that's all I have to say. I can't even watch the inauguration, which is in about a half an hour. As I record this, I can't watch, but I think it's the first time, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to work out. So sit back, relax, and enjoy part 1 of my interview with Rabbi Iggy. Hey everyone, welcome to It's Judy Show with Judy Gold, and I am your host, Judy Gold. And today, I have been trying to find the right moment to have. I really feel like I have to ring the bell 400 times right now. Otherwise, you're not going to hear a fucking word we're saying. And as you can see, I'm wearing my shalom shirt. Shalom.
You need hello, goodbye, fuck
and
you.
Peace.
Yes, and peace.
It's not fuck you.
It's like shalom.
Right. Oh yeah, you could do like, all right, shalom. Get the fuck away from me.
Right.
I know him as Rabbi Iggy, as most people do. His full name is Igael Gurin Malis.
Yeah, Malu. Yeah.
Malu?
Malu, I'm fancy.
All right. Igael Gurin Malu.
Exactly.
He
you can see why the Iggy. Nobody can say it.
Yeah, I like Iggy. Rabbi Iggy is spiritual counselor, gay rabbi, a Talmud teacher.
Yes.
A rabbi.
Yes.
As a rabbi.
Yes.
That does regular rabbi stuff.
Yeah, I'm rabbinating. I'm rabbinating all the time.
But he's so special to me, and I think to so many people, and I feel so lucky to have him in my life, but don't tell him I said that. Rabbi, I might just call you Iggy, but
yeah,
I'm sure everyone will write in, why are you calling him Iggy?
We have a relationship. It's all good.
I need you, and I think most people need you right now to just not even make sense of the world and what we're about to face, but how to, because I don't know if there is a way to make sense. I mean, I'm sure you have a way, but how to navigate what I think in my life, I mean, I'm 62 years old, is really, and I'm talking, I remember, we went through the AIDS crisis. We went through a lot of devastating shit. But it feels, as a Jew, it feels different now.
Yes.
And, this is going to post the night of the inauguration of, I know a lot of Jews love him because he's so good for Israel. I just, the fact that you could put aside someone's character, behavior, impropriety. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, monstrous behavior.
Yeah. And vote for him and support him to run this amazing country. Okay. That's all the stuff I want to talk about with you. I want to just give a background because your life is so incredibly interesting. Your grandfather was a Holocaust survivor. Right. He was from a really big family. He survived Auschwitz. Everyone else died.
Everyone.
Like zero.
Yeah,
but
hundreds of people. Yeah.
Hundreds. And I read an article, he had 2 prayers in his life.
That's right.
Can you? I mean, the fact that he had any prayers after that is amazing.
Oh, that's even deeper, more fascinating. My grandfather walked into Auschwitz as a secular man and came out as a devout Orthodox person. I know. He's one of those people who found God in Auschwitz.
That's so unusual. Usually it's like, fuck this.
That's right. No, I mean, he was an unusual man on so many levels, but that part of the faith, as you just said, right? Sort of like the having prayers after is that's the smallest part of the idiosyncrasies of finding God in Auschwitz. Yeah, he prayed for 2 things in his life. He prayed to never be a burden. That is sort of right. He said to me once, if you ever have to give me like a shower or a bath, I will die on the spot. Like, right. He would go to shul every Saturday morning, of course. And there was a moment in his life when he actually kind of broke his foot and he couldn't walk. And they got him a wheelchair for the day-to-day and stuff. And on Shabbat, they said, okay, we'll wheel you to shul. And he was like, absolutely not. And he was like, it's okay. It's halachically fine. The rabbi says fine. He's like, absolutely not. I'm not leaving this house in this chair. Period. Full stop. Like he wouldn't do it.
Right.
And then the other prayer was to rebuild his family, to rebuild the family. That's all he wanted. He was a devoted grandfather. He was the most significant person in my life till this day, even though he's died many, many years ago. He is the channel of compassion. The fact that he had love after Auschwitz and all the love to give and rebuild a family, and had my uncle and my mother and sort of like us and bought this sort of family home so that we can all live together and all that.
It's crazy.
Those were his 2 prayers, and he did that, and he was very. It's funny. I don't know if you like that as well, but he was one of those people that if he stood in line somewhere, no matter what, for like a bagel or for the thing, he would make friends with everybody who's right there, right next to him.
Right.
And I remember as a kid that would completely bother me. I would be like, we can just stand there, right? Well, we can just stand here,
right,
mind our own business, talk to each other, and not need to converse with everybody and make friends with everybody. And all of a sudden we have a dinner of 5. Like, and he just couldn't.
Right.
His spirit was so thick, and people were drawn to him. I mean, he was one of those magnets that people kept coming to him for everything. And so yeah, he was, and fortunately for him, sort of like begrudgingly for me, in the sense of like I'm not like this. He looked exactly like me, like really physically like me, except he was 6'4".
Wow, he must have been a catch.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to you?
My grandmother was beautiful. I am like a tiny little sprite. Well, not tiny. I'm expanding horizontally as the years goes by. But yeah, like and when I was young, all I wanted was to be taller. So
you're jealous of me, is what you're trying to say.
100%. 100%. Okay. Her height is wasted on this lesbianic thing.
Oh, shut up. Look, I created a basketball player, so there you go.
That's true. He's great.
Hey, everyone. Elisa and I, one of the things we love to do is scroll through the Redfin app and look at real estate in our area or in a neighborhood or where we're going. And she loves it because she works at the real estate industry. I love it because I get invited, to so many people's homes. It could be for Shabbat dinner. It could just be for an event. It could be, I'm on the boards of these organizations and they have these fundraising things. And I'm telling you, to be able to look up their addresses and see photos and how much square footage, it's just so fun. Scrolling real estate is so fun on the Redfin app. Whether you're looking to buy or rent your next place, you need the Redfin app. Redfin makes it fun to search all the homes and apartments in your neighborhood. And if you find a place you love, Redfin makes it easy to go see it in person. Just schedule a tour right from the app. Plus, if you're looking to sell, Redfin agents know how to get you the best price possible because they close twice as many deals as other agents. And with a listing fee as low as 1%, Redfin's fees are half of what others often charge. So, whether you're looking to buy, rent, or sell, download the Redfin app to get started. You're welcome. So, your journey, which is fascinating. You lived on several continents. You started out, you've gone from orthodox to conservative to reform to reconstruction.
Post-denominational. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And your mother was supportive of the arts, even though you grew up secular.
No, I grew up Orthodox.
No, I mean, yeah, Orthodox. I'm sorry. That was the wrong word. You grew up Orthodox, and your mother supported this secular idea of the arts.
I mean, it's funny because it's not exactly a secular idea, right? So like in Judaism, bell, right? Sort of like, there is this idea always of Judaica and Hidur Mitzvah, and even this idea that a beautiful wife and beautiful vessels and a beautiful home expands a person's heart, right? So this idea of this austere, right, sort of like unattractive, unaesthetic, sort of like Orthodox life is just not true. At least in Belgium, for sure, not true.
Right.
As Belgian people. So the aesthetics were very important. And my mother found this sort of niche, right, and also sort of helping other people with art and stuff. And she was in the diamond business, right, for a very, very long time. She had an eye. My mother always had an eye. And so I grew up in a very aesthetic art sort of forward home, which again, for European Jews is not uncommon.
Right.
Right. Sort of this American notion of like,
when I said that, I mean, I understand that we have a sect of Hasidim and Lubavitch and Haredi here who are just like, we're not even everything you do in your regular society. No. So correct. I'm just saying, I don't think people realize how
that's right.
How they really just separate themselves.
That's right. There's sections of it that negate anything that sort of is that enable thing. But they'll have a beautiful Kiddush cup for Shabbat. They'll have a beautiful Torah cover. They'll have So like even they can't fully, right?
Right.
Sort of, right. But yes, so the Yiddish spasnish or nish from unseren, right? So like doesn't work or not from ours.
Right.
That idea is very much about negation of the world.
Right. You are a Talmud teacher, and you have, since you're 5 years old, you get up every morning and you study Talmud.
That's right.
And that's your like meditation, your way I start my day, like your run around Central Park, your whatever.
It's my longest relationship in my life.
Longest relationship. It's so interesting because you left sort of.
I did.
Can you just tell that journey of leaving, and then it's like your grandfather in a way,
I left and right, sort of like, and I got kicked out. Like, right, so it's a mixture of both. I was a difficult child in the sense of sort of that I was dealing with my queerness and I didn't know it, right? You remember, right?
Oh,
This is the
please.
70s and the 80s. There's no models, there's no anything. If there's any mention of something, it's usually around a tragic way or AIDS or somebody
Right.
dying or somebody miserable, right? Right. So like so and I didn't even get exposed to that. I didn't know the words for it. I later on I thought I was alone. Although there's a funny story that when I was in yeshiva, there was a moment where somebody asked the teacher, the rav, something like, "Why do we separate from women when we pray, when we daven?" And the rabbi said, the teacher said, "So we don't get distracted and stuff." And I remember thinking, I'm very young. I remember thinking, like, distracted by what? Like perfume? The way they
Right.
dress, like what's exactly is the distract, like I didn't get it because I thought that at that moment sort of that the way again I didn't have words for it, but the way I was feeling about boys, girls felt about girls, and
Right.
that's why they're together, right? Sort of
Right.
like
Right. 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 Right.
I really thought for a while as a kid, like as a young kid, that everybody was like me. And then when I found out that no, nobody's like me, that was the break. That was one of the first breaks of faith in that sense. But I remember thinking like, this is great. Like distracted by what? I don't understand this. So, but as I was growing up and asking too many questions and really trying to find and now I could see, right, I was sort of struggling with my own self and therefore struggling with the world. I sort of, and I'm sure sort of a lot of people may relate, but because I was hiding or a reason I needed to be the best at, because I thought if I can be the best at, I could hide behind that. And
Right.
luckily God has given me an intellect that sort of that was able to match my desires. And I was able to sort of to hide behind Talmud and right, so I can all these things, whatever. But fundamentally, I started realizing that this world is awful. And if I told who I was, and if I told the truth,
Right.
I'd be dead.
Isn't it interesting that you just figure that out? Like, oh, I can't tell anyone about this. This is the worst thing in the entire world. If anyone finds out, my life is over. And you're single digit age.
Right. Yeah. And it
It's
was, and right. And by the way, it was. That is to say, when I did come out later on, my
right.
father kicked me out. Right. When I did come out, right. So like my father, my community kicked me out.
Did your
And
mother, I mean, did she have an issue with it?
as it turns out later, less than my dad,
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
But she did what my dad thinks. I mean, if
Right.
it were up to my dad at the time, he wanted to sit shiva on me, and my mother was like, absolutely not.
Right.
But
Right.
but
You know, Shiva, you got to give a bell.
the I don't know if it was for the shiva or the absolutely not. But anyway, but
There's a much better. Yeah.
the so later on, even as a teenager, I was like, I was right here. I can't be who I am, right?
Right.
It was very difficult. But I don't know, fortunately, unfortunately, I have faith. I can't shake it. I have faith that there is a force, although my articulation of God is really different than most. But I have faith that there is a force out there that sort of really kind of moves everything, and the wisdom that comes from it is true in the most basic sense,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where sort of like I keep going back to it. That's why I have faith, even though I left.
You got kicked out. You left. You became an addict. Is that correct?
No, not exactly. I'm
Not,
a normie, but
huh?
I'm a normie. I'm not an addict,
Okay.
I exhibited a lot of the behaviors. I drowned myself in a lot of behaviors that were
Right.
very dangerous. I don't. I mean, again, I wasn't suicidal, but I didn't want to live. I mean, I didn't think I'm gonna like right. So I was like, yeah, drugs, alcohol, sex,
Yeah.
like whatever. Like, yeah, woohoo, right?
Drown it.
If
Drown it, baby.
if nobody loves me, I'll do that.
Right. And you help people who have addiction issues now. Yeah.
So for the past 15 years and in general, and now I'm the rabbi in residence at Beit Tshuva, which is the only real Jewish rehab in the world, right?
Right.
Sort of like public announcements. If you are struggling and you need this, there is a place for you that doesn't, right? That is a Jewish
Is it
spiritual.
all religious people or is it
No, no,
secular?
no,
Oh,
no, no,
okay.
not at all. We have everything: religious, non-religious men,
Right.
women, gay, straight. We have non-Jews.
Right.
We're residential, right? We're a real program. We're not just a 30-day wham bam. We're like we're
Right.
we're we're a 7-month residential program that is.
Wow, that's great.
So, and I'm the rabbi in residence and director of spiritual. So yeah.
You have lived in Europe,
Mm,
in Belgium, in
yes.
Israel,
Yep.
San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York City.
Correct.
You're now based in New York City.
Correct.
But you are always traveling, which is
Right.
amazing. You have said that no matter where you are in the world, as a Jew, Jews pray towards Jerusalem, towards Israel. Always pray to the east. I mean, here it's the east, but
Yeah.
there's thousands and thousands, millions of Jews on any given Shabbat or day, really,
Yeah.
facing in one direction, praying. And you
Yep.
said something that really hit me. There, you cannot ignore the power of that.
That's right.
I just thought that was just an amazing, I mean, not just thought, but observation. Like, you're right.
Yeah. It's an incredible power that we are all directed in one place, right? The direction of our heart, the direction of our body sometimes, right? So like that sort of goes towards this sort of one place, like a portal almost.
Right.
Spirituality, right? And look, one of the interesting things is sort of that what I often sort of I'm observing or attracted to is sort of like thinking about communal patterns, right? How we are as fill in the blank, right? How we are as queer people, how we are as gay people, how we are as Jews, how we are as parents, and because I truly believe that at the end of everything lies a few core truths, and one of them, that the opposite of pain is not pleasure, the opposite of pain is connection, right? The sort of that, and you see this now. I'm here in LA, helping with sort of like these devastating fires and sort of loss of things, but the what comes out of it is sort of the need of community and connection and support, right? Into every life, some rain must fall. We're all going to suffer, right? It is a true element of life, and we can't fix it. I can't fix it for anyone, but I can offer them a chance to reflect, sort of that we are all part of the stream of prayers. That
Right.
we're all part of this together. That we're all connected in one way or another. And it is, in fact, that disconnect, when we don't feel that, when we feel disconnected and lonely, and the epidemic of loneliness we're facing, which is why, by the way, I think people, like we asked at the beginning, like why people voted the way they did. I think it's related to that. I think when people, that's when we suffer. That's when we forget that they're all part of the human condition. When we other people, when we feel we're terminally unique in one way or another, when we ignore the fact that we are connected.
When you talk about that, it's also like the thing that is so amazing about you, and I will call you and I'll say I can't, and you're like, yes, you can. Is that you're so comfortable in that space, that space of, I mean, you're just nonplussed. I mean, you can take the most tragic story or tragic circumstances or tragic person, and you're so comfortable in that space that it's such a gift.
I was just saying, I was given a gift sort of to be able to sort of look in people's eyes and see their soul and see their story and see what they've gone through, but really mostly see what they can become. and forge a path towards that. I was given a gift of great compassion. But I'll say this, and I just talked about it not too long ago, sort of back here, is that, and this is difficult for some people to understand and to hear. So when I was a child, I went through abuse. I went through proper physical abuse by people who were supposed to love me. And it was ongoing and it was terrible and thing. And I remember being locked in like a bathroom, not even a larger, like just the part where the when the toilet is, right? Because
Yeah.
separate. I would remember being locked there for a whole night because of something I must have said or done or whatever. Probably I didn't finish my salad. I don't know exactly.
Right.
But I remember being there, and I remember being cold and crying, and my knees were hurting from the tile. And so when I was a little older, right, much older, right, I asked myself, and I still ask myself, and sometimes I'll ask other people if they're willing to engage, because it's a very difficult question. And when I asked myself was, if I think about the worst thing that's ever happened to me, right, namely that, and I ask, how is this the best thing that's ever happened to me? And if I'm honest with the question, and able to be honest and brave enough with the answer, not excusing the behavior, not wanting this behavior, not wishing this behavior on anybody else. It's monstrous and awful. But if I really ask myself, how is this the best thing that's ever happened to me? I can tell you that my ability to see people's pain, my ability to hold what you just said, like worst tragic things, and see people for where they are and see how we can help. I can see that compassion, that clarity of where we are and their soul comes directly from there. I see pain, I've seen pain, I've experienced pain, and therefore, and this is the hard part, I have gratitude for it. I have gratitude for what it has given me in my life, what my soul has transformed into the ability to not just help myself, but help others. And that is really a great gift I've been given in many ways, because my life is full of, I get to help people and deal with people in a very day life. I'm super lucky. I'm like the most fortunate person in the world in many ways.
Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike big wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
The whole idea of transformation.
Yeah.
Is that what you try? I mean, it's just so amazing, but is that what you try to accomplish with these people, is a transformation?
Yeah, a transformation, or a sense that sort of you can, right? That you have sovereignty.
Yes,
that
yes.
it is possible, that the answers are in you. So I'm driven by two things, right? There's a rabbi in the Talmud, Rabbi Eliezer, who said that a person should do tshuva before they die, right? I'll explain tshuva in a second, right? And his students say, Rabbi, how do you know which day you'll die? I mean, unless you do. And he's like, aha, exactly. That's why you do have to do tshuva every day. So you are always ready for tshuva, right? And the tshuva, right, is 3 things in Hebrew. Tshuva means repent, right? Just the basic, like Yom Kippur, if you're Jew, right? Like make tshuva,
Right.
like that, right? But the repenting part, right? Like, what did I do? Like, I feel bad. Like, I didn't want to hurt anyone, so forth, so on.
Yeah.
Then the second translation of tshuva is a response, as in a question and an answer, as in a response versus a reaction, right? So like so many of us sort of react instead of responding, right?
Right.
We feel like shit. We go to the fridge for the sixth time thinking maybe some cake will appear there, right? We feel like awful. We get angry. For some of us, we go, right? We feel too many emotions. We go to the bottle, to the drugs, whatever it is, sex, all these things, right? So tshuva is a response versus a reaction, right? Because between the stimulus and response, there's a space, and that's spirituality.
Right.
And then the third thing is to return home, to return to your higher self, right? To return to a place where you are the best version of yourself. So in that sense, right? I don't love the word repent, so I change it to reflect. So tshuva is to reflect, to respond, and to return.
The 3 R's. Yeah.
Right? And these things are the things that we have to do every day.
You know, it's so funny. I mean, it's not funny.
Yeah.
But that space you talk about between the reaction,
The stimulus and response,
yeah, is, I think, what every therapist tries to teach. I mean, especially in DBT therapy, it's like, whoa, take a second,
That's right.
breathe. And if everyone sort of honored that space, I think that we wouldn't be where we are right now in this country or in this world.
Absolutely. No, for sure. But we said it first. This is
right.
Right. That is to say, right, I can show you, right, 2,500-year-old teaching of this, right?
Right.
Before the computers, before there were anything, that says, right, spirituality lives in that space. Meditation, journaling, right? Sort of like all these things are in order to expand that space as much as possible between how we feel, the stimulus, the trigger, the craving, and don't just react. Respond.
Right.
Think about it, right? And if we create that much space, yes, we would make not just better choices, but we would treat ourselves and others so much better, right? We would understand that we're all part of this human condition.
We have to name that space. What can we name that little space?
Roberta? I don't know.
I don't know. Judith.
No,
I think Judith.
Judith.
Yeah.
What a novel idea.
Thank you. I don't know where I came up with that. I want to talk about, I mean, you're a parent.
Yes.
You have a husband.
Yes.
You have tattoos.
Yes.
Which everyone like.
Absolutely.
I mean, what did your family do when they?
Have a physicist.
Oh, that's so great. I mean, not according to your.
I mean, I have
family.
a whole bunch of.
Like, just tell me before we get into, you know, the meat of what the fuck's going on. It's inauguration and the fires and you know, New Orleans and the hostages. Okay. When did you get your first tattoo? What the fuck did your family say? And why did you get 500 more? Go.
Great question.
Thank you.
18. I was just short of 18. And it's funny, right? It's the Shema. It's right here.
Oh, I love that.
I got it because and it's at the place of fill-in of phylacteries, right? So I got it because I felt at the time, I was like thinking to myself, I need to take part in the creation of who I am. And the alteration of the tattoo, right, is this sort of painful process that now I can tell you help me reprocess my own pain. Tattoos, especially for the queer body, has this amazing healing factor for some that allows us to take control of our own body, actually choose pain as a way to process other sort of traumatic, somatic, physical pain by taking this action and recoding it, rebranding it, quite literally, for something that I choose and I choose to show to the world. That process was so powerful for me that immediately, and by the way, everybody who's ever had a tattoo, or if you're gonna have a tattoo, as soon as the first needle hits your skin, you will know exactly if you're like, what the fuck? I'm never doing this again. What am I, stupid? Or like, oh, what's my next tattoo? Like,
Right.
you know? And for me, that process was so powerful and so healing that I immediately thought about getting a tattoo. So back then, right, this is sort of right, right. I'm 50 years old, so this is a long time ago. White Jewish men did not get tattoos.
Duh. Yeah.
Did not get tattoos. My mother, although it took a bit for her to see it, but my mother was beside herself. Later on, I mean, again, we didn't speak for a while, so but later on was beside herself. She was like, "That's it.
Right.
You know, joining a gang, you're going to prison, you're gonna die." So that was that part. So they didn't like it, and still, you know, later on they didn't like it. But I will say this: one of the things that I found out about me through this process is it's very clear that I'm an empath, right? I feel other people's feelings. I started getting, the more I got them, the more I realized that people assume something on me and therefore stay away from me a little bit. And it became a shield.
Wow.
It allowed me to protect myself and my own core empathy and thing that didn't just attack, because people sort of like kept a certain distance. So it became this armor.
Right.
And I kept getting them, and then they meant more, right? I got one for my children. I got one when my grandmother died, or when my father died, like, right? So like there's all these things. And so now they tell a story. They are reminders of these anchors in my life. Each one of them is not just.
Do you look at them daily, like every day?
I see them. Yeah, I see them daily. I see them daily. And there's certain ones that I constantly look at. There's certain things, certain ones that sort of that keep a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain ones that sort of just like, oh yeah, I got this in Antwerp, or I got this in London, or right, this is my tzitzis, or this is my teacher, or right. So like there's these moments that sort of that I sort of look at them and think, but I got more, and I still get more to again to sort of to remind myself of the sovereignty. And let's be honest, I'm a bit of an iconoclast. I don't like being like everybody else. I like being.
Okay, can you put to bed this? You can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Nonsense. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Absolutely nothing. Literally invented by Jewish mothers to dissuade their children.
Really? It was invented by Jewish mothers?
Literally invented by Jewish mothers. Be like, be careful. It's a lie. It's a fallacy. It's not true. It is not true factually. It is not true spiritually. It is not true halachically, not Jewishly, right? Not the least of which there's tons of, Auschwitz survivors who are buried in
I know. That's what I'm like. What about all of these people? Yeah.
Absolute nonsense. You can 100% guaranteed take it to the bank, get buried in a Jewish cemetery if you so choose, if you have tattoos.
Also, it's like these people say that, and I notice that some very religious people, the minute the girl comes out of the vagina, they get their ears pierced. So it's like,
not just ear pierced.
Botox, nose jobs, but
you're even going too far. The minute a boy comes out, we cut off parts of his penis.
Yeah.
We do body modification day 8.
Right.
It's a covenant. Yeah, absolutely. Day 8, we take him to a mohel and we cut off a piece of flesh that we think that sort of is part of the covenant. That is called body modification.
Whoa, baby! Do you believe it? I feel that is an important. Well, I mean, what do you think about circumcision?
Is it gay man? Or is it,
All right, I don't need that. Okay, ugh, I just vomited. All right.
No, I look, I believe in tradition. I believe in covenant.
Same.
And again, I'm tattooed, right? And as a kid used to be pierced. It's part of a tradition, right? So like, again, there's some scarring that's done in Africa, right? There's sort of like, right? There's sort of like, again, piercing of the ears, coloring your right, coloring your face, coloring your nails, henna, right? Permanent, semi-permanent binding of the feet. Not that I'm into that, but right. So we constantly change our bodies. And again, I think it is at the core of it, perhaps sometimes maladjusted, but at the core of it is a way for us to try and take part of creation, right? In the way that sort of God does. It's a way to remind ourselves as humanity of sovereignty and the covenant between us and the Creator.
Right.
The bris is there. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
There's also
I agree.
by the way, that it's healthy, right? It is beneficial with, STDs and stuff like that. So, but fundamentally, yeah, absolutely. Do I understand the people who don't want to do it? I get it. But for me, tradition many times, not always, but many times would win over it.
Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of my interview with Rabbi Iggy. I hope you enjoyed it. This podcast is produced by Laura Vogel, edited by Colin Schmaling, and marketed by Haley Dercher. And yeah, I can't wait for you to hear part 2. Isn't he amazing? Isn't he fucking amazing? He's so great. So I hope this is exactly what you needed. And I hope you need more next week. Please follow me, by the way, on Instagram. And what else am I? I'm on everything. But, we're trying to build up my YouTube page so I can start posting like a bunch of stuff there. And so if you would be so kind to subscribe to my YouTube page, Judy Gold, JUDYGOLD, and, my Instagram, JEWDYGOLD. So if you would be so kind to do that, that would really help me out. I need to get 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 600 something at this point. So that's that. Come see me if you're in the Westchester area on February 1st at the Shames JCC in Tarrytown. And then I'm in the show My First Ex-Husband, which is from February 26th to March 23rd. And I've had multiple friends call me and say, wait, so when are you in it? And I'm like, I'm February 26th to March 23rd. And then they say to me, okay, oh, so are you in it March 6th? Yes, I am, because I just said I'm in it from February 26th to March 23rd, okay? And then do not start with me like, how do I get tickets? Don't start that shit with me. I hate it. Okay, so that was my anger coming out. It's fucking freezing and I'm sick of it. But thank you. Thank you all for listening. I hope that this conversation with Rabbi Iggy is as helpful to you as it was to me. He's always helpful. Go to my website, judygold.com, and look at all my dates coming up, because at the end of March, I'm on the fucking road, baby. And I'll be in a city near you, and I want to see you. So thank you all so much for listening. God bless America. That's all I have to say. G-D, bless America. And as we always say, so long.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.